Hello, this is Tracy. It is Wednesday and it is the first Wednesday of the month, so I am offering my free card class right now. So what that means for you is that I'm going to demonstrate a card template and you will make the same card using your own supplies. So when I say the same card, I mean the same template. And I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to use whatever supplies you have. And this is always an easily replicable card that you can make with almost anything. And then, of course, if you like the cards that I'm doing, then with a $35 purchase, I will send you the kit that has all the supplies to make the cards that I'm making. So let's get started. So what you are going to need is you need a 6x6 sheet of paper. That is a designer series paper. And actually, I should have written this down in advance and I didn't. So you need a 6x6 DSP. And really, we're going to cut that to 6 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need a piece of matching cardstock, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then your favorite stamp set, and you'll want a large shaped die. All right, let me just tilt my camera a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna get started. So the first card that I'm gonna make using this template is using the new Hearts of Elegance and the Marbled Elegance, I think is the name of the paper. Let me just double check that. Marbled Elegance. And then the dies that I'm gonna be using are these. So this is a new set that is in the online exclusives only. And when I saw the paper, I was like, okay, I need to have this. And I like that it could be Valentine's Day, but it could also be anniversary. It could also be romantic. It could be happy birthday. Really, it can be anything. I'm not quite ready for Valentine's Day yet. So we're going to make more just like a love card. So this is the kit that you would be receiving, by the way, if you purchase $35 or more in my online store. So you'll see what you'll be getting. Okay, so you can see I have my 6x6 designer series paper. And what's important about this is you want to make sure the sides coordinate. And I probably should have pulled out a non-example. And I might have one. Let's see. Actually, I'll use one that we're going to use tonight. So this paper I absolutely love, but, okay, well that's going to coordinate. Maybe I should have used that paper. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find one. Okay, here's a good one. So when I look at these, like I don't necessarily think that those coordinate because we are going to use both sides of the paper on it. So you're going to want to pick a 6x6 that coordinates. So if you look, these coordinate very well. So I have that, and then I have the 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 cardstock that matches it. And you're going to need 2 of the same shaped die. So I chose the hearts. Like, look, when I opened this, I was really excited by how big this is, but I haven't actually used it yet. This is the first card I've made, by the way, with this. So I just used the large one, and I cut it in Melon Mambo and Whisper White. Okay, so let's get started making this card. I see some of you coming in. Thanks for joining me. If you are just joining, I'm showing you a template card. Here are the measurements. And hopefully you'll craft along with me and you'll make your own version with whatever supplies you have, because this is the idea behind it is it's an easy replicable card that you should be able to make with any supplies. Okay, so I'm going to cut just one side off so that it's now 5 1/4. Okay, so the idea is that now when I rotate that, see how it fits on there? So I'm going to keep it rotated like this, and I'm going to score it at 4 inches. So now when I fold it, this is going to be the base of the card. And so the idea is one of these will go on the inside and the other one will cover it. So that's the gist of it. So let me get, all right. I'm choosing Sending Lots of Love out of this stamp set. And I am actually going to stamp mine, and I'm going to stamp it in the middle. And this is, I want to say this strip was 1 inch. In fact, I think I wrote that down somewhere. 1 inch. It doesn't have to be exact, but if you're trying to make my card exactly, it might be helpful. And let's do, I'm going to stamp Sending Lots of Love in the Cherry Cobbler. There we go. And I'm going to put this right in the center here. Okay, but I'm going to put some gold behind it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape. There we go. And I'm going to use this thread. And I'm just going to kind of make that like fake bow behind it. So I just stuck it there. And now I'm going to loop it. And then loop it back. Okay, and then this I'm going to glue there. I'm just going to cover that up, and I'm trying to get my lettering centered there. Okay, and then I'm flipping it over, and I'm just going to cut off this excess while trying not to cut off any of that ribbon. All right, so that it will look like this. So let me get this glued down so you can get a better idea. So I'm very excited for this paper. I'm actually going to be doing a full class craft along for it. So I do that the last Wednesday of every month. I don't have one in December because it's New Year's Day, and I know everybody's so busy with the holidays. So my next one will be in January, and whatever the last Wednesday of January is, I'll be using this suite. So if you want to join me, make sure you're part of my email list. Hey, Carol. Oh, Carol, I'm glad you joined. I hope you're enjoying your new place wherever you are right now. So if you want to join in this, what you'll do is you'll pre-order the kit for me, and all that the details from that will go through email. And then when I go live on Facebook the last Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, you can make the same cards as me because you'll have everything you need except for the stamped images. So I'm just going to center this in here. And actually, I think I want to add, let's add a little flower. Why not? Getting risky. Normally I stamp before I glue. We'll see how Murphy's Law is doing today. Okay, good. That turned out pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to close this. I'm just going to use my bone folder. And then this, I'm going to make sure I'm only gluing on that side so that I'm not gluing my card shut. And then the goal is to cover that white. There we go. So there is the card, and when they open it, they'll have that, and you'll have room to write your message. So that is the gist of our templates. I'll leave that there with those measurements, and I'll clean up a little bit here and get set up for our next card. Yeah, Carol, I knew you were doing some traveling. I wasn't sure when you were actually going to settle down into a new spot. But if you're going to build, it sounds like you have a plan and you know what house you're getting and what community. Okay, let's see. All right, so I showed you something brand new. And now we are going to go to the clearance rack. So this paper is on the clearance rack, and I meant to check right before coming live to make sure it's still there, because I want to say it's $2.80, which I cannot believe. Like, I love this paper. I want to say it was maybe the mini catalog last spring, but I'll just show you some of the cards. Now this one uses all the stamps, but look, this uses that paper. This uses the paper, and the dies have these like nuts and bolts, and if you pop it on silver, looks great. And that's just the paper with just a stamp. And then that one. So masculine cards are not necessarily my strength. I need it to be very obvious, like give me a tool set, give me a plain set, and I'm good. But it does coordinate with Trusty Tools, and this still is in the main catalog, and I don't think it's on the last chance list. And then there are coordinating dies. So check these out. You can make all the tools. You can make the pegboard that it comes on. So this is what I am going to use next. So let me pull that out of the kit. Okay, so again, you need 6x6 designer series paper. You want both sides to coordinate. So that's what I have here. And then you want your card base is going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I chose Smoky Slate because that coordinates. And then we'll get to all that stuff in a minute. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to make it 6 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to go to 5 1/4. And then I'm going to rotate it and put it at 4 inches and score. And actually, so this is what would be the front of my card. So I'm just going to flip it and see what this would look like. Yeah, I like that I get a few more tools that way. So I am going to do that. Okay. And so that is going to get glued just like that. This paper has like rulers in it for measurements. So I've made some teacher cards out of it. It has like graph paper. The paper is really nice. The whole bundle, when it came out as a suite, I'm pretty sure it was a suite unless it was part of Celebration. I got it all, and I was trying to find cards to show you today, and I'm not very good at sending cards, so usually it's not a problem for me, but I actually sent these because I don't make very many masculine cards, so I had to send them. Okay, so there is our card base, and now we get to embellish however we want. So for the large die this time, like I said, the bundle comes with this pegboard. So all I did was get a white sheet of paper. And you can see I went right to the size of it. So I'm going to use that. So I just ran that through my die cutting machine, and then I'm going to trim it down. Okay. Let me trim this down a little bit. Oop, not that much. So I'm just getting it so that all the holes, like it goes to the pegboard. Okay, so now for this one, I'm going to frame it just because, I mean, we don't want you to be able to see through the card, see the holes. So I'm going to frame it with smoky slate again. So I'm not measuring, I'm just cutting. So just making the gray a little bit bigger. And then I want to make sure, so I said you want 2 die cuts of the same size. So I want to make sure, see how this white one is too big and it's going to show. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit too. Okay, and let's see now. Okay, now it hides completely, so that's perfect. All right, so now this will go in here and this will go on top. And of course, if we have a pegboard, we need tools. So here's what's great about this paper is that there are tools already on it. There's actually 4 sheets of tools. They're a little bit different. So like this, I could cut this out and put it here. Look how cute that is. But then it also has all the tools that you can die cut. So that's what I did. So I did a hammer in smoky slates. I did a wrench in smoky slates. And I did pliers, another kind of wrench in smoky slates. And then, oh, actually I did it. There we go. There's smoky slate. And then I cut the hammer in this again, but I did it in colors to make handles. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these down. And I'm going to glue them on to be handles. I don't know, how far does a handle go up on one of these? Does it even have it? If not, I'm making it. Okay, so we're going to do it like that and glue those down. So Carol, if you're still there, will your new place have a craft room? And you need to text me your new address when you have it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to start gluing. I'm just going to try and avoid those holes so that I don't have glue seeping through. Except for in that one spot. All right, so I'm going to center that. And then I'm not going to glue these yet because I kind of want to play with the sentiment first. So I'm thinking it might be something like that. All right, so then I just have a white scrap. And out of the stamp set, you have thank you, Dad. Happy Father's Day. You're the most awesome. I'm going to do thank you. And let's do it in Lost Lagoon. This coordinates with Real Red, Lost Lagoon. What's the yellow? Crushed Curry. All I'm seeing is red. I'm sure the Lost Lagoon is on there. You can tell I've used red a lot on this one. Okay, and I'm just going to trim this down. See, I'm thinking maybe something there. I don't know. I don't think I want it crooked like that. Maybe if it's over on this side. I think maybe I need it a little bit thinner. Yep, I think I like that layout. Okay, so I'm going to get all these these tools popped on. Hey, Jane, it's all right. You're late. I'm glad you're joining. Jane, I've got the measurements here. I'm on card number 2. And I'm using Trusty Tools because this paper is in the last chance. I want to say $2.80. So this is really your last chance to get it. I'm not sure if you took the class that I did with this paper or not. It's been a while. All right. Now I want it under here. Okay. So now I'm going to glue this in the center with a glue that works. Okay, and then we want this to lay right over top of it, which it does. So I'm just going to unstick this guy so that I can get all that back on. Okay, and I'm going to flip it to make sure. So I want my dots over here. Okay, so there is the next card. So cute. I love this paper. I'm definitely going to miss it. All right. I will clean up, get ready for the next card. Get all my little tiny tool pieces back in the bag because I'm definitely going to use them at some point. Okay. Next, I'm going to be using Spotlight on Nature. And I am going to be using my shape die. This time will be the circles that coordinate with that set that come in the bundle. And then I am using the Regal Winter paper. So beautiful flowered paper. That is, I mean, it was great for fall, great for winter. And like even this one kind of looks summery to me. And that's the one we're actually going to use. So this is what the kit will look like. So back to, I have 6x6 designer series paper, and I'm seeing a lot of you are starting to pop in, and you just want to make sure that both sides coordinate and that they look well together, because we are going to fold them over and you're going to be able to see both. You need a 6x5, or I'm sorry, a 5.5 by 4.25 coordinating cardstock. And then you need 2 of the same large shaped die, or one could be like if I wanted to do the nested. So for example, I used this one. I could do one size down for the other one. That works as well. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this cut down to 6 by 5.25. So it's already 6 by 6. I'm just going to cut a 1/4 inch off. And then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees and put it at 4 inches. And I'm going to score, because that's where I'm going to fold it. Okay, so 6 by 5.25. And then on the long side, the 6-inch side, I'm scoring it at 4 inches. So it's going to create this, and this will actually get glued to the card base. Oh, I think this one is just about done. I don't know about you, but I always feel like a sense of pride when I finish a glue. It's like I did it. Which I probably shouldn't anymore, because I think I go through one a week. Okay, so that's going to get glued. Hi, Carrie. Welcome. Glad you could make it again today. All right, so there is the essential part of our card. So we're done with that. Now we can embellish it however we want. So I am using the Spotlight on Nature dies and the stamp set. So I'm going to use this big flower. And I'm going to need some scrap paper, I'm going to go off a little bit, and I'm going to stamp it in black. I am using the StazOn, but the Memento will work. In fact, I find that I just use them interchangeably. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp that. It's such a pretty stamp. Like, I love that flower. Okay, and now I'm going to color, and I want to use coordinating colors. So I'm pulling out my red markers, and this is actually Cherry Cobbler, which I don't have. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. So I'll show you how I do that. I'm going to use this Cherry Cobbler marker, and then I use the back. So the back of all the designer series paper tells you the coordinating colors. So that's what I use. And so this was like a pretty peacock and shaded spruce. So I'm going to use the shaded spruce markers. And again, that's because that's what I have. These markers I absolutely love, but they are definitely pricey. So I just order as I can. All right, so I'm going to color some of these dark pieces first. Oops, I almost colored my leaf. Just to put some depth in. I'll do the same with the green. I'm often asked which end of the marker do I use, and honestly, I'm the wrong person to ask with coloring. I love doing it, but it's not my strength. Like when I watch what other demonstrators do, I think, how do they make that look so real? So I just do whichever end pops open usually, unless it's a really small one. Then I use the small details, which I probably should for these stems. All right, and then I go in with the lighter one. If you are very artsy, which I am not, I'm crafty, there is a difference. You probably know how to just keep blending to get all the different shading you want. I don't. I fake it and I just follow the lines that the stamp gives me. So you can see in the darker places and where like petals might overlap, I'm going over that a couple times. But I am going to cheat because you can see this comes out a little bit lighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in some of this dark. And so you can see it's already starting to blend better. So you can do that as much as you want, as little as you want. All right, for sake of time, I'll go through this much faster. I am on card number 3 for those of you just joining. So I'm making 4 cards that are all using the same template. And it really is to show you that whatever stamp set paper you have that you love, this works for it. Okay, I am going to use the Dear Friend sentiment. And so I just have a scrap sheet of paper. Trying to think what color I want to do that in. I think I'm actually going to do it in black. I'm not going to necessarily fussy cut it, but I am going to get a bit of a close cut. We'll see if I like this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yep, I like that. Okay, so just like before, one of the shapes is going on the inside, and I do that one first. And I glue that one down flat. And I just try and center it. Okay, and then I close it, and we want this one to go over the top. And since this one does have the details around the edges, I'm making sure those line up too. And this is up to you if you want to pop it up or not. I think that I am not going to, so I'm only going to put glue on this side. Okay, so then it looks like this. And now I'm going to put that right there. And same thing, I'm going to glue it. Give that a minute to dry. Okay, so there is the next card. So, I mean, just looking at those two, they are completely different, yet the exact same template, same measurements. I just changed the paper, the stamp, and the die. All right, I will leave those for you while I do a little bit of cleaning again. All right. The last set. Okay, this one is going to be a little outside of my box, so we'll see what you guys think. I still have Halloween paper. And Danielle, I haven't seen you on here, but I'm sure you're going to watch the replay. So you actually inspired me on this. I definitely get stuck in my rut of, I see this, I see Halloween paper, it can only make Halloween cards. So I really challenged myself to try and make something other than Halloween. So that's what I'm going to do. You're going to let me know if you think it works or not, because I still see a little bit of Halloween, but I know that's probably a me problem. So while I looked through this paper and thought, what else can I use? So I'm going to show you the last card in our kits. I actually chose this sheet of paper because if you look at the back, that doesn't scream Halloween at all to me. And then I am using the Cake Celebrations. This is a new online exclusive. And then for my large shape die, I am using, I hope this is the name of the die set. It goes with the Thoughtful Expressions. It is in the main catalog. It has the beautiful hummingbird, all these, but really the best thing about this is this right here. So I use the largest one as my dies. And if you place a $35 order or more in my online store, you'll get this kit, and so you'll get the die cuts too, so you can make these cards. All right. So this one, because I want to use this directionally, it took a little bit more thinking. So when you're cutting, like the other ones, it didn't really matter to me. I could just cut whatever side to 5 1/4. But I want this to fold this way because I want the whole thing to have these stripes versus maybe me getting stuck with just these stripes and it looks kind of weird on my pool party paper. So I want it to fold this way. So I'm keeping this as the 6-inch side. So I'm actually cutting this side. I'm going to go through that again because I'm going to double check myself before I cut it. All right, so if I cut this at 5 1/4, that means it's going to be laying this way. So I'm going to fold it this way. All right, I think I'm right. Actually, I want to cut it this way though, because I want that pool party more centered, I think. Okay, so I cut it to 5 1/4 by 6. Now I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to score at the 4-inch mark. Okay, so I did my 6 by 5 1/4 and now I'm scoring it at 4 inches on the long side. So if you still have some of this Halloween paper, don't put it away. See if you can make something that's not Halloween with it. All right, now I'm using Pool Party because it coordinates with this, and this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So it's going to get glued right there. Okay, so now one of these is going to be the inside and the other one is going to be the one I decorate. Not that you can't decorate both like I did on the first card, but I'm really going to embellish the second one. So what I like about this set is you build your cakes. And so I'm going to start with my sentiment actually, and I'm going to use Celebrate. And oh, for a second, I thought I'd glued that in wrong. I'm going to use gray, smoky slate. Maybe. Wasn't in its normal spot. Put it back in the wrong spot. So I'm just gonna stamp the Celebrate at the bottom. And then I'm gonna use the cake stand in the Smoky Slate as well. Okay, now I'm gonna use, this is definitely a two-step stamping stamp. So I need 2 colors, and I'm gonna use coordinating colors. So I'm using Pool Party, and no, I think, actually I think Coastal Cabana coordinates better. Now I don't remember, so I'm gonna stamp them just to see. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my large one. So again, this set comes with all sorts of coordinating, different sizes, I should say, of the cakes that you can make layered cakes. And mine are probably going to be all crooked just because my camera is right here, so I can't get right on top of it. But trust me, it's very easy to make coordinating ones. All right, so let's see if the Coastal Cabana is the one that coordinates really well with it. Yep, I like that. Okay, so this is what I mean by two-step stamping. So you see how it has another one that sits right in there, and I just use a different shade of the same color. When I'm looking on camera, it doesn't seem to be coming out very well. I promise in person it looks better. Okay, so now I'm going to do the next layer. So it's just a little bit smaller. And then there we go. Now this set also comes with purple flowers. Let's see how we're looking here. I feel like, I don't know. I'm going to see what purple, because mine is crooked with the camera, I can't get straight on top of it. I'm going to try the purple flowers on it, and if it doesn't work, I'm making a new cake anyway that's straighter, so we'll see. So it comes with 2 different size flowers, and there are die cuts for it. I am not going to go through all that. Let's see here. Oh, here's one I can show you. So here's pink. So this was Pretty in Pink and Petunia Pop. So I did the exact same thing here, but then I did the flowers right on top instead of die cutting. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't pulled one out where I actually die cut the flowers to show you. But they look really cute when you die cut and pop them up too. I mean, in my opinion, they look even better than this. All right, so this is Gorgeous Grape. I chose that because, again, it's on my paper. So we'll do a big flower here. We'll do a small flower down here. And maybe one on top. Actually, I kind of like the purple flowers on it. All right, so this is going to get glued on the inside. And my only goal with this one is to center it. Okay, so there we go. And then this one, I would glue right over the top. So it would look like that. All right, so, okay, Jane, you do like the purple? Like I said, this one is so outside of my box. I went back and forth if I was even gonna make this one, because this is not me. But actually, now that I see it done, I think it is pretty cute. I am gonna go back and make it a little bit straighter, because let's see, like, See, it needs to be straight, but that one doesn't match. Actually, that one doesn't look that bad either. Okay, so I think I might be sold on this idea of using the quote Halloween paper. That doesn't have to be Halloween paper. All right, I'm just going to show you the 4 cards tonight. So here is the first one that used the Hearts of Elegance Suites. The second one, Last Chance Lists. If you like this set, get it now before it sells out. I think that one might actually be my favorite tonight. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I know it's disappearing and I won't be able to use it again. And then this one that used the Spotlight on Nature and Regal Winter. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. I will be, let's see, I'm trying to think what's next. So I do have a in-person class on Saturday, and then next week, my students are having a performance that I'm going to, so I won't be live, but I'll make sure I have some sort of video for you. Or who knows, maybe I'll try and figure out how to do a live video at the Performing Arts Center. Regardless, look for me next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then, of course, 12 Days of Christmas is still going on. I think this Sunday will be episode number 10 already. Have a great night.